So this is our very first concert for these guys, and we have a lot of exciting things. So we're going to get kicked off right away with a popular favorite called Mozart Melody. I'm not going to say the name of the tune because I'm sure you'll be able to recognize it, but I hope you enjoy Mozart Melody. So Tinkle Tinkle Little Star, ABC song, it's been used for a lot of different things. I'll you too. So that was one of the very first things that we started learning once we got into our instruments was songs in unison, playing all the same things, so to make sure we had all the right notes, all the right rhythms, all that good stuff. And these guys have been just eating it up. So next up we started working on pieces that had like more than one part going on, starting to work on their independence on their own part rather than having to listen to their neighbor in order to get their music. And that led us to Ode to Joy by Beethoven, of course. So we have our version of Ode to Joy for you next. Hope you enjoy. They've been doing a lovely job with, you can tell like they're starting to learn how to like balance their parts, and even though we have half the band is literally trumpets right now, they're doing a really good job of making sure you can hear the other parts going on, like 13 trumpets versus 3 clarinets, and we can still hear that balance happening. So we've been working really hard on getting that to happen. We've been training the musicians for years, so we're going to know when I can get quiet, when I need to listen to other parts, all that good stuff. Now we're going to hear more of that with our next piece called The Joy of Winter. The composer Lawrence Smith said that this was supposed to be inspired by just like the old-timey feeling of going through a town with the snow falling, you know, horse-drawn carriage, so that kind of feeling. So this is the Joy Coach by Lawrence Smith. choir. If you guys would mind centering on the stage for me real quick before we get started. There you go, some slides for us in the middle. That's good. Okay, I remember our windows. Awesome. So this group is our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade choir. We combined all 3 classes this year just so we could have a bigger sound and a bigger choir. We have 3 pieces for you all tonight, starting with the Carol of the Bells. So fun fact about this piece, even though we usually recognize it as a Christmas tune or a holiday tune, it was originally actually written as a Ukrainian folk song, the original melody. And the original words are actually about springtime and the coming of the new year, which is why I chose it for the present time. But during like World War I, Ukraine, they had a national choir that actually went on tour around the world. And when they stopped in the US, there was an American composer that said, hey, that kind of sounds like bells. I wonder if I could take that and rework it. And then we got our current version that we're going to sing for you tonight, which is kind of the more Christmas early one that we're used to. So a melody about springtime, kind of about Christmas time, combination of those. Here we go, Carol Bells. So next piece for us, that was the Carol of the Bells. Next up we have the popular Anastasia movie you guys might remember from like the 90s, popular animated classic. We have Once Upon a December, which is the main theme from that movie. Once Upon a December from Anastasia, we hope you enjoy. It's a very, the thought piece, I'll say that. Cool, let's keep going. And choir, make sure that you're standing.
So
by the Fleet Foxes, but made much more famous by Times. And we have our own version of the body percussion stuff too that we're going to show off to y'all tonight. So we hope you enjoy what we're doing on. And for jazz band, get ready for you guys to come up too, okay? Going up next. Cool.
I was following the
that's the afternoon jazz band, everybody. We're gonna come to the screen. Cool, next up we have coming up the 7th grade band. Awesome. And you may have noticed with our jazz band, but we have some good instrumentation as we get into 6th grade and into 7th grade. We start adding more and more instruments. We usually start with just the basics of like flute, clarinet, trumpet, saxophone, and trombone, just to get the basics going on how to play each one of our instruments. So pretty good representation of each one. But after their first year of playing, we start adding like more and more diverse instrumentation. So you can see some of them have the same stuff, but we see like Daniel here with the big old baby sax holding down the bass of our band. And we'll see even more once we get into 8th grade band too. And a couple coming up actually in 6th grade too this year. We'll see. We'll see that for the spring. We'll see that in the spring concert. First song for you all this evening from 7th grade is called Atlantis by Annie Ginty. She's a really popular composer within the band community. And this piece, honestly, is just a lot of fun. But also it helps them explore a lot of really great new and interesting harmonies that you'll hear for band literature, as well as syncopation, which is a really cool rhythmic device that like puts the emphasis on the offbeats quite a bit. So this was awesome. We're going to start with Atlantis with our 7th grade band. Here we go. Next up for you all, we have Ghost Chase. The kids were asking, what is the connection between Ghost Chase and the winter concert, Mr. Comella? And I said, you know what? I don't know, it's just fun. Something Ghost of Winter Tax, I don't know. But it's just a really fun piece. These guys, even though they are a small group, they are a mighty group, you can tell already. Just the sound difference between 6th grade band and these guys, the jump that they've made, and just like tone quality and overall what they're able to play is amazing, and that year of progress. So next up we have Ghost Chase, as I said, by John Dupuis, and this one's kind of like, imagine if you were walking into a haunted mansion, slowly hear the door creaking open, and then you walk in, you hear the feel of the floorboards are like bending underneath your weight because no one's walked in this place for a very long time, and all of a sudden you hear the door slam behind you. You have no idea what it was, and you're just running through the house. That's exactly what this piece is. So we hope you enjoy. Ghost Chase. Join us, and we're going to combine groups real quick for a piece called December Sky. So we're going to get adjusted here. December Sky is a piece by Eric Morales. I'm just going to stand up here so you guys can get by. Come on through. Sweet. And this piece is meant to depict, imagine for this one, as if you are the composer himself said that he was trying to write this piece through the eyes of his 6-year-old daughter. So imagine for a moment that it's a quiet winter evening. You had just finished watching the sunset, maybe sitting on the porch with a hot cup of cocoa, or just looking through the window maybe even. You just start to see this initial first couple stars come through the night. And you're trying to imagine this is the very first time you really realize that maybe there's something out there that's bigger than yourself. And that's what he was trying to portray as his, like through the eyes of a 6-year-old daughter, first seeing that and realizing maybe something else is out there. And just enjoying the newness and freshness of that moment. So this is December Sky, a really beautiful piece, and I think you're going to really enjoy how beautiful and beautiful that these guys are playing it. So this is December Sky. exit stage, as I said, for the 8th graders. They have 2 pieces for you all tonight before we finish out our concert. First one is Moscow 1941 by Ryan Gallegos. This piece is supposed to be interpretation on the Russian song Meadowlands. And also thinking back to 1941, World War I was in its midst, and Germany was outside of Stalingrad knocking on the door saying, please let us in so we can take you over. And the Russians said, no. So this piece is meant to be in honor of actually a Russian music teacher that was from Baltimore. And because of Russian heritage, they decided to write this piece in this fashion. But it's a really beautiful piece, a lot of things happening in this piece. And I think you're really going to see like we went from 6th grade to 7th grade, taking the next level with like tone production and everything, and now this is the next level from 7th grade to 8th grade, and the complexity of pieces that they're going to play. So this one's pretty intense, has a lot of moving parts, and these guys did a wonderful job preparing it. So here is Moscow 1941. You see what I mean? Like just the level of complexity for each grade level, just so much more every single time. So that was Moscow 1941. Whew, quite a good one. And last but not least, we have Saints of the Barbarian. But before we get to that, I do want to give special thanks to quite a few people. Starting off with our administration team, making sure that we had this space available for tonight and working with us in order to put on these events. We could not do without them, and making sure that we had the resources that we need. For instance, things like our drum set, part of that was donated to us through Community House, and they helped us get the rest of the pieces for the drum set and fix it up. We also get a lot of help through our FAB, which is the Fine Arts Booster. If you all are interested in joining them, as Mr. B said, there is a part of the program on the last page. If you're interested in doing that, you get extra perks too, like being able to order tickets a little bit early for our spring musical, which is always a big event if you don't know. So thank you to FAB also for making sure that you're supporting us. Speaking of, with coupon book fundraiser, we were very successful for that, and thank you parents for making sure we were supporting us with that. However, we were missing quite a few coupon books, so if you have any of those still kicking around at home, make sure you're turning those in. Then also, thank you to our Mr. P back there working on sound and everything for us, Mr. Mueller and the tech team for working on lights for us back there and the camera, thank you. And any of the teachers that are also in the room and security that are in here, just helping us make sure that we're having a great event tonight. So thank you all for that. And of course, thank you to all of you for showing up tonight and making sure that you are supporting the arts and our wonderful kids. As you can tell, they have been working super hard, and I know they have a lot of other things going on in their lives, but thank you for making time today to make sure that they can do this awesome activity of band and choir and making music. It's a really important part of our lives and just making better people, I think. So thank you all for supporting that and letting us do that. I would also like to acknowledge the loss of a community member tonight, and Mr. Ian Ferris. If some of you may know him, he was the band and choir director at J.M. Robinson. He recently passed. I know some of you in this room had him as a teacher recently, or some of your siblings may have had him as a teacher. My own wife had him as a teacher back in the day, so I just wanted to acknowledge with a quick moment of silence, Mr. Ferris. Thank you. So last but not least, if you knew Mr. Ferris also, I did not plan this, but he was also just a very charismatic person, always had a huge smile on his face. So I found the most over-the-top, ridiculous piece that we were already playing on called Saint the Barbarian, The Snowpocalypse, so you can tell by the title. It's by Randall Standards. There's some narration parts going on, a lot of special effects. You'll hear percussion on bird whistles. You'll hear the winds play all sorts of different Christmas tunes going on, but like with a dark twist kind of thing. Springtime by the Baldies in there. Randall Standards just put a lot of stuff in here with the idea that maybe Santa Claus in an alternate universe wasn't this big jolly guy with the red suit. Maybe he was wearing a hat with horns coming out of it, wielding an axe and saying, "Winter time will never end and I shall rule the world." So this is Santa the Barbarian, Snowpocalypse. A lot of fun. Here we go. What he had planned, for the blizzards and storms were his.